All right, so get ready for a deep dive into A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
Sounds good.
We're going to be unraveling the journey of Feyre.
Okay.
She's a skilled huntress who finds herself
Yeah.
navigating a world that's teetering on the edge of chaos.
Right.
Our main source material for today's deep dive is going to be excerpts from the book itself.
Cool.
We'll be looking at all sorts of details about Feyre, her family, and the realm of Prythian.
Okay.
That's the fairy realm.
Gotcha.
It's enchanting, but it's also super dangerous.
I can imagine.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have followed Feyre's journey through trials, mysteries, and the looming threat that hangs over everything.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and what I think is so fascinating about this story is how Maas just immediately creates this tension.
Yeah.
Feyre's human village is right on the border of Prythian.
Oh, wow.
Like, you can almost feel this weight of fear and mistrust in the air.
Right on the edge.
Right. It's like walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
You know, at any moment, the balance could shift and everything could just spill over.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with all the rumors of strange folk and giant wolves just beyond the wall.
Oh, geez.
It makes for such an unsettling atmosphere.
For sure.
And it happens even before anything super dramatic even happens.
Really?
Yeah, and the ward markings on Feyre's cottage,
the
ones that are supposed to protect them from fairy magic, they're described as faded and useless.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so right away, Maas is kind of subtly telling us how vulnerable the humans are in this world.
Wow.
It really emphasizes how precarious their existence is.
Yeah, I see that.
Then, of course, you layer on top of that the reality of their everyday lives.
Yeah.
Feyre's family is really struggling to just survive.
Oh, no.
Poverty is weighing them down. And then you add in her father's injury.
Yeah.
His leg was ruined by creditors.
Oh, wow.
It really emphasizes the hardships they face.
Absolutely.
It's a stark reminder that Feyre isn't just hunting for sport.
Right.
She needs to hunt to keep her family fed.
I see.
And that encounter with the Faerie, disguised as a wolf,
oh, yeah.
that's when everything changes.
Oh.
It's a pivotal moment that reveals so much about her character.
Totally agree.
I was like on the edge of my seat reading that scene.
I bet.
You can tell she's scared, but her instincts take over.
Yeah.
She kills the wolf, but then she also skins it and uses the pelt.
Really?
It's like incredible practicality and resourcefulness.
For sure.
Especially in such a high-stakes situation.
Absolutely. And I think this encounter, it's not just about survival. It actually launches Feyre into Prythian.
Right.
The fairy realm.
The fairy realm. And it's so mesmerizing, but also so terrifying.
Right.
It's like walking into a dream.
Yeah.
But there's this constant undercurrent of danger.
Right.
Especially when you compare the spring court to the human world.
Okay.
It's all eternally blooming flowers. So opulent and beautiful.
Yeah.
Compared to the harsh winter that Feyre left behind.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I think that contrast is deliberate.
Yeah.
Maas is highlighting how alluring the fairy realm is. But she's also kind of hinting at a darker side.
Right.
Especially when you consider the masks the fairies wear.
Oh, yeah.
It's like another layer of mystery.
Right.
It makes it hard to tell friend from foe.
Yeah, you never know who to trust.
And then you have Lucien.
Oh, yeah, Lucien.
Tamlin's emissary.
Yes. Right.
Always watching Feyre.
Yeah. With those intense eyes. It's unsettling.
Definitely. And Lucien's role is really interesting.
It is.
He's like a bridge between Tamlin and Faerie.
Right.
But you never really know what his motives are.
You don't.
He's definitely one to watch.
Yeah. For sure.
Speaking of Tamlin.
Yes.
Let's talk about the treaty.
Okay.
You know, that agreement between the human and fairy realms.
It's so fragile.
It is.
It feels like a ticking time bomb. Like, there are serious consequences if anyone crosses the line.
I bet.
And the treaty isn't just a physical barrier.
Yeah.
It really represents the power imbalance between humans and fairies.
I see that.
It's almost a reminder that fear and prejudice can really be used to control people.
That's a big theme in the story.
Definitely.
Yeah, and Tamlin makes it super clear to Feyre that her family's safety completely depends on her doing what he says.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is.
To know that just going back to the human world could put them all in danger.
Right.
It's like she's trapped.
Yeah.
Between her desire for freedom and the responsibility she feels for her family.
Right.
She's a captive in a gilded cage.
Oh, wow.
But she doesn't give up. Yeah. She doesn't just accept her fate.
Right.
She's constantly observing everything.
Yeah.
Gathering information,
Right.
trying to understand how this new world works.
I like that.
Remember when she encounters the surreal? That creature that has to answer any question truthfully.
Right.
But there's a price.
I remember that.
That shows how much Feyre wants knowledge.
Totally.
And that she's willing to take risks to get it.
Yeah.
She's not just watching everything happen.
Okay.
She's trying to figure it all out, like solving a puzzle.
I see that.
And we can't forget about all the magic woven into the story.
The magic.
Yes. The way starlight reflects in pools.
Oh, wow.
How they control the seasons.
Really?
The way the landscapes constantly shift. It's enchanting.
It is. But the magic isn't always good.
Right.
There's a darkness under the surface, like a feeling that even beautiful things can be dangerous.
Right.
Which brings us to the Blight.
Okay.
That mysterious force that's weakening the fairy realm.
Uh-huh.
And Amarantha.
Oh, yeah.
The cruel High Queen.
Someone who's enslaved all those High Lords.
Yeah, including Tamlin.
Things are about to get a lot more complicated. Amarantha's game, forcing Tamlin to find a human girl who hates fairies so he can marry her.
Right.
It adds another layer to their whole relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
It shows how cruel Amarantha can be.
It really does.
She's exploiting Tamlin's love for Feyre.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder how Feyre's going to handle all this.
I know, it's a tough spot.
It is.
And just when you think things can't get any worse, Feyre figures out the truth about her family's sudden fortune.
Okay.
It all comes from a bargain Tamlin made with Amarantha.
He made a deal with her.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's devastating.
It must be.
She has to confront the real cost of her being held captive.
Yeah, this is a turning point for Feyre.
Mm-hmm.
It shatters any illusion of safety.
Right.
She has to make a choice.
Yeah.
Stay trapped in that gilded cage.
Right.
Or fight.
Fight for her freedom and for everyone she loves.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what she does.
I like it.
She goes back to Prythian to save Tamlin.
Good for her.
And it's like a switch flips inside her.
Oh, really?
She's not the same hesitant, fearful girl we met at the beginning.
Oh, so?
She's a determined heroine now.
Nice.
Ready to face anything.
That's what I like to hear.
It's like a butterfly coming out of its cocoon.
That's a good way to put it.
And then she faces all these trials in Amarantha's court.
Yeah. Those are intense.
They really are.
Like the monstrous worm in the labyrinth.
And all those impossible tasks she's given.
Right.
Maas doesn't hold back.
She doesn't.
She shows us how brutal this world really is.
Yeah. And those trials aren't just about physical strength. They're meant to break her spirit.
Oh, wow.
To test how resilient she is.
That's rough.
Yeah. But even in the darkest parts of the story, there's hope.
Yeah.
Like when Lucien tries to help her.
Yeah, and some of the fairies show compassion, even though they're enslaved.
It's a reminder that kindness exists even in this world.
It is. And then there's Rhysand, the High Lord of the Night Court.
Right.
He pops up at these random times.
Really?
He taunts Feyre. He does all these things, and you never know what his angle is.
Is he good or bad?
It's a mystery.
A real wild card.
Yeah. And he adds to the unpredictability of everything.
For sure.
Yeah. And his interactions with Feyre are so interesting.
How so?
He's cruel to her sometimes, but then he's also kind of compassionate.
Oh, wow.
He challenges her, but then he also gives her hope.
Really?
It's hard to say if he's helping her or if he's using her.
Yeah.
He keeps us guessing.
I bet.
Yeah.
And his actions have an effect on Feyre.
They do.
Like when he heals her injuries.
Right.
Or subtly helps her with those tasks. Is he really being kind?
Right.
Or is it all part of some bigger plan?
We're starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
But there's still so much to figure out.
A puzzle.
And that tattoo he gives her.
The tattoo on her hand.
Yes. The eye on her palm.
What does it mean?
It's like a symbol of their connection.
Okay.
But it's also a reminder of his power.
I see.
It's both alluring and unsettling.
Definitely.
Nothing in this world is simple.
It isn't.
Right? Even acts of kindness can have unintended consequences.
And that final scene.
Oh, yeah.
With the kiss.
Right when Amarantha walks in.
Oh.
What a cliffhanger.
It is.
It leaves you wondering what's going to happen next.
Absolutely.
What will Amarantha do?
Right.
What will happen to Feyre?
I can't wait to find out.
Stay tuned for the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore all of this and more.
Sounds good. Okay, so you know how Amarantha is defeated? It's not really the happily ever after you'd expect.
Right.
Maas doesn't shy away from the lasting impact of trauma.
No, she doesn't.
Like, instead of finding peace back in the spring court,
Yeah.
Feyre is sent back to the human world.
Yeah.
Almost like her time in Prythian was all a dream.
It's so cruel.
It is.
Especially after everything she went through, to be pushed back into a world that doesn't even feel like home anymore.
Right, and the way Tamlin tries to erase her memories.
Oh, yeah.
Like she never even left.
It feels more like a prison than an act of kindness.
Yeah. I think it shows how complicated Tamlin is.
It does.
He thinks he knows what's best for Feyre.
Uh-huh.
But he's not really listening to what she needs.
Yeah. He's trying to protect her.
Yeah.
But he's also isolating her.
Totally.
Keeping her away from everything that's shaped who she is.
Yeah. And her family.
Oh my gosh, her family.
They don't know anything.
I have no clue.
It's like their memories have been altered.
Right.
Their lives are better because of what Feyre did.
Uh-huh.
But they don't even realize it.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is.
And it emphasizes those power dynamics again.
Oh, yeah.
Who gets to control the story? Who decides what's real?
Exactly.
What's forgotten? Feyre is carrying the weight of the whole fairy realm. And her family is just living this carefree life.
Right.
Because of a deal they don't even know about. She must feel so alone.
She does.
She tries to connect with her old life.
I bet.
To find some sense of normalcy.
Yeah.
But it's so sad to watch.
It is.
Even her relationship with Isaac.
Oh, Isaac.
Her old love interest.
Right.
Feels so empty now.
It does.
That scene with Isaac really hit me hard.
Me too.
It shows how much Feyre has grown.
Yeah.
She's not that girl anymore.
No.
The one who wanted that simple life in the village.
Right.
Prythian changed her.
It did.
All the danger, the love, the loss.
It all changed her.
She doesn't fit in her old life.
Right.
But she hasn't quite found her place in her new one either. Even her painting.
Oh, her painting.
Something that used to bring her joy.
Right.
It's lost its meaning for her.
It's like the colors have faded.
Yeah.
The inspiration is gone.
It symbolizes all the turmoil she's going through, trying
Yeah.
to figure out who she is now.
And all of this is happening while the blight is still out there.
Right.
It's like a reminder
Yeah.
that the danger isn't over.
We know things are going to get worse,
Yeah.
but Feyre doesn't know that yet.
It creates so much suspense.
It does.
And then she finds out about the bargain.
The one Tamlin made with Amarantha.
Yeah.
That's when something changes inside her. She knows she can't stay away from Prythian.
Yeah.
No matter how hard she tries to forget everything.
It's like a call to action.
Right.
She realizes her fate is tied to Prythian.
Exactly.
And this time,
Yeah.
she's not going as a captive.
She's not.
She's going back on her own terms.
Yes.
Ready to fight for what she believes in.
There's this new strength in her.
Absolutely.
She's not afraid anymore. Her decision to fight for Tamlin,
Yeah.
to break the curse,
Right.
it's courageous.
It shows how much she's grown.
From that scared girl to this amazing woman willing to risk everything.
And then she gets to the spring court.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just ruins.
It's completely destroyed.
Everyone is gone.
Yeah.
No sign of Tamlin.
Or Lucian.
It's eerie.
It's like a ghost town.
Yeah, all that shattered glass.
The bloodstains? You don't know if anyone survived?
It's scary.
It really shows how destructive Amarantha and the Blight are.
And then Ellis appears.
Yeah.
That brave servant.
She risks her life to help Feyre.
She does.
She's the one who tells Feyre about the curse.
The one on Tamlin.
Yeah.
The bargain he made to save his people.
It changes everything.
It does.
Suddenly Tamlin's actions make sense. The secrecy, the control.
It wasn't malicious. He was trapped.
Right.
Tried to protect Feyre from the truth.
It's so sad.
It adds this layer of tragedy.
To their love story.
But it also makes you think about sacrifice.
Uh-huh.
What it means to be a leader.
Tamlin made a hard choice.
He did.
And now he's paying the price. And Amarantha, she's been using the Blight to attack humans, too.
She has.
She's been pulling the strings all along.
She's ambitious.
And ruthless.
It's not just about Feyre and Tamlin anymore.
It's not.
This is about survival.
Right.
For both humans and fairies.
And knowing all of that,
yeah,
Feyre still chooses to fight.
To save Tamlin.
To break the curse.
Even if it means sacrificing herself.
She's so selfless.
She is.
It shows how much she's grown.
Yeah.
She's not just fighting for herself anymore. She's fighting for everyone.
And her journey into Amarantha's stronghold.
Under the mountain. It's so dangerous. Every step is a risk.
And that adder.
Oh my God.
Guarding the entrance.
It's terrifying.
Like a monster.
It represents all the darkness of Amarantha's court.
Exactly.
Her cruelty, her power.
Her twisted magic.
And then Feyre meets Amarantha
Yeah.
In the throne room.
Right.
With Tamlin under her control.
It's a chilling scene.
It is.
You can feel the power Amarantha has.
Over everyone.
But Feyre stands up to her.
She does.
Even though Amarantha is so powerful.
Feyre demands that she break the curse.
Wow.
She's willing to bargain with Amarantha.
That's bold.
It's risky.
It is.
But it shows how determined she is.
And how much she believes in their love.
And Amarantha,
yeah,
she just smiles.
That cruel smile.
Like she's enjoying this.
Yeah, she's loving her powers.
She's not just a villain.
She's not.
He's playing with them.
And then she gives Feyre the riddle.
Oh, the riddle.
An impossible challenge.
It's classic fairy tale stuff.
It is.
But with a dark twist.
Yeah.
It tests Feyre's intelligence, but it's also a trap.
Amarantha is dangling hope in front of her.
A chance to save Tamlin.
Right.
But the cost of failure is huge. Amarantha's game is so cruel.
It is.
She doesn't just want to win.
Right.
She wants to break Feyre.
To crush her hope.
And make her suffer.
And the tasks she's given.
Oh, yeah.
The labyrinth.
The worm.
That mess she has to clean up.
They push Feyre to her absolute limit.
They test her strength and resilience.
Maas describes it all so vividly.
Bitches.
You can feel Feyre's fear.
Her exhaustion.
Her desperation.
But even then, there are moments of hope.
Yeah.
Like that servant girl.
Right.
And Lucien.
He tries to help, too.
They show that compassion still exists.
Even in this awful world. And Rysand, he keeps popping up.
He does.
With his taunts and his weird actions.
You never know what he's up to.
Is he good? Is he bad?
He's a mystery.
He makes everything so unpredictable.
And his interactions with Feyre?
Yeah.
They're fascinating.
They are.
He's cruel sometimes, but he's also kind of...
Right.
He challenges her.
And gives her hope.
It's like he understands her.
But he also might be using her.
Yeah.
It's hard to know.
You can't tell if he's helping or hurting.
And when he reveals his true form.
Oh, yeah.
His wings.
And the talons.
Scary.
But also amazing.
Yeah.
He's powerful.
But there's something in his eyes when he looks at Feyre.
Like something else is there.
More than just darkness.
It makes you wonder about his motives. Is he really being kind? Or is it all a trick?
Yeah.
And the tattoo.
The eye on her palm.
It's a symbol of their connection.
And also his power over her.
It's both alluring.
And unsettling.
It's like nothing is simple in this world.
No.
Even kindness can have consequences.
And that scene,
it's
right in front of Amarantha.
Such a cliffhanger.
It leaves you breathless.
Yeah.
What will Amarantha do?
It sets up this huge confrontation.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Join us for the final part,
yeah.
where we'll explore the climax of this amazing story. That kiss.
I know, right?
Right in front of Amarantha.
I know, right?
Right in front of Amarantha.
She's so bold.
It changes everything.
Yeah, it's not just romantic.
Right.
It's like he's defying her.
Exactly.
A calculated distraction.
Yeah, and we find out later, Rysand had a reason.
Oh, God.
He had to make Tamlin think. He was on Amarantha's side.
Oh, wow.
To protect his own court.
That's intense.
It is.
It makes you realize how complex Rysand is. He's playing this long game with all this deception and sacrifice.
It makes you think about leadership.
Yeah.
How tough those choices must be.
In a world like that.
Yeah, where survival depends on making those hard calls.
Absolutely. And Feyre,
yeah,
she's stuck in the middle. She has to learn the rules fast.
Yeah.
She can't trust anyone blindly.
Especially Rysand.
Right. He's such an enigma.
She has to adapt.
Yeah.
Become even more cunning.
And resourceful.
But she never forgets her goal.
To save Tamlin.
Right.
And break that curse. And then that third trial.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
It is.
Amarantha makes Feyre feel the pain.
The pain of everyone being tortured in the dungeon.
It's like psychological torture. It's supposed to crush her spirit.
Amarantha is so cruel.
It's horrifying. But Feyre survives it. She holds on to the memories.
Like the people she loves.
Yeah.
And the hope that she can save Tamlin.
But it's the emotional stuff that almost breaks her. Yeah. The despair.
Amarantha knows how to manipulate.
She uses hope as a weapon.
Yeah. To make the pain even worse.
And that's when Rysand steps in again.
Oh, really?
He gives her music.
To distract her from all that suffering.
It's an act of kindness.
It is.
But it also helps her figure out the curse.
Wow, how so?
It's like a pivotal moment. Rysand understands Feyre. He doesn't just offer empty words. He gives her something beautiful.
Yeah.
Something that touches her soul.
Yeah.
That reminds her there's a world outside that prison. It's more than just music.
It is.
It's like a revelation.
Okay.
A glimpse into Rysand himself. It creates this connection between them.
Deeper than the physical.
Yeah, and that's when Feyre has her epiphany.
What is it?
She realizes Amarantha isn't just controlling their power.
Right.
She's stolen their essence.
Their heartbeats.
It's so clever.
It is.
Feyre sees what others don't.
Yeah.
And then she confronts Amarantha.
In that final trial.
It's epic.
Tell me about it.
She uses her knowledge of the curse.
Okay.
To challenge Amarantha.
So brave.
And so smart.
Yeah.
She doesn't use brute force.
Magic.
She outmaneuvers her.
Wow.
And then Tamlin breaks free?
Yes.
He becomes the beast again.
It's a visual representation of their victory.
He's not controlled anymore.
Yeah.
He's powerful again. Yeah. But it's bittersweet.
It is.
Feyre is hurt. Physically and emotionally.
Yeah. Her scars run deep.
Yeah, they show how strong she is.
Right.
But they also show how much she's suffered.
And Rysand, his final words.
About being grateful for her human heart.
I know.
It's so complex.
He's acknowledging her strength, her capacity for like
even after all that darkness.
But he's also warning her.
Yeah.
That this world is more dangerous than she knows.
It's like another puzzle for her to solve.
Right.
Is Rysand a friend or an enemy?
Or something else entirely.
That last look he gives her is like he's surprised.
By what she's become.
Yeah.
She's a force to be reckoned with now.
And so we come to the end of this chapter in Feyre's story.
There's a sense of closure.
Yeah.
But also anticipation.
Right.
This is just the beginning.
A court of thorns and roses.
Yeah.
It's the start of an epic saga.
It is.
If you haven't read it yet, you should definitely check it out.
It's a story that stays with you.
It does. And that wraps up our deep dive
into A Court of Thorns and Roses.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah.
To explore more great stories.
Oh, good.
Until then, keep reading.
And keep those imaginations going.